sometimes I think that we see other people doing well and we're like, hey, that's cool for them, but they're not dealing with this. So I want to start off by, maybe I'll just say this. Josh, tell us just a quick rundown of some of the shit that's happened to you in the last 7 months. Just give everyone a quick rundown of what the hell has been going on in your life, just in general. Like, and you know what I'm talking about. And obviously, you know, I'm not laughing. There's nothing else to do besides just make light of it.
Right. 7 months ago, I woke up at midnight to the sound of explosions, and my house was on fire. And I had to get everybody up out of bed, evacuate, call 911, get the animals out. And, you know, by that time, the house was fully engulfed and there was no saving it. It was gone. As you see, I'm currently living in an RV, which, you know, I don't mind too badly. I've had a hard time finding a new house, putting my head down and working as hard as I can in my business to grow my income, to be able to quit my job, and finally pulled that off with your help.
So guys, I don't want to hear anybody in here. I mean, obviously there's always someone that has it worse, but I haven't ever dealt with that. So for you guys that are like, well, like business, but I have this mental thing I'm dealing with, like none of you guys have had your house burned down, at least not to my knowledge, in the last 7 months, have had to basically move into a camper. Anyway, I want to set that stage because the numbers don't matter, dude. It's the fact that you went 62% increase, which is what I think is so impressive in such a short amount of time. So let's back a little bit. And again, this is my format. I said to Josh, said, dude, there's no motive here. The goal is we want to add value to the people that are listening. Our goal is, how do we drop something for somebody that's watching this or that watches the replay that they can immediately take and turn into cash? Josh is taking his time, I'm taking my time. So Josh, tell us really quick, how long have you been in lead generation? Your first course or whatever you got into, like how long ago was that?
I mean, it's been 2.5 years.
And 2.5 years ago, you got that. In that amount of time, like, what's the most amount you've made in a single month? You've had months that like you're at now, but it would be like a month here, a month there, SEO deal, web build, but nothing consistently. You weren't consistently sitting at 52, 58.
No.
Okay. You got 2.5 years ago, and like what kind of deal structure were you one of those SEO rabbit hole chasers, or did you kind of always see like, hey, lead generation, what was that like? Did you go down that like I did with an SEO rabbit hole for a minute, or was it always knowing lead gen was the spot, but you just took SEO deals as they came? Or tell us about that.
SEO deals generally came from just referrals from friends and family and people I would meet. You know, I did some Upwork gigs and stuff trying to make that work, but most of my deals, they were all commission deals or pay-per-lead deals, ended up never working in my favor. I'd send them a bunch of leads and they'd argue that none of them were any good. So I was glad to get away from that. You know, I'm not a good salesman, but having a script and having, you know, being able to know my worth using the lead value calculator and an idea of what I should have been charging helped. You know, I had to fire some clients that have been paying me very little, you know, and get better clients.
Let's take 2 months ago. What was your average deal structure? Was it pay-per-lead? Was it commission? Did you have any flat fee at all? Like, how was most of your deal structure? What was that 3311 made up of? Is it 4 of the sites that you already had that were producing leads and either fire a client and increase to a flat fee that made sense, or get a client on a flat fee that previously didn't even have one, right? That's what you've done. Is it 4 total sites?
It's 3 concrete sites and 1 towing.
4 different deals, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So Josh has landed 4 deals, but what's interesting is like these are products or websites that he already had built. He already had ranking. They already had leads coming in, which meant like most of this was just complete profit. I think a lot of us, and this is why I want to bring this in, is a lot of us are sitting there right now with websites that are producing leads that we just like, it's just money sitting on the ground that we just need to turn into money. We need to pick it up. So tell me, before getting into this process, knowing this process that we teach, what did you done previous to try and sell? Let's take the first deal that you landed. Was that a towing or was that a concrete?
No, it was a concrete deal.
Okay, concrete. Okay, and how much did you end up getting that for?
Yeah, it's $250 a week.
Okay, $250 a week. So tell us prior to that, because I think that's the lesson to be learned here, is like everyone's sitting there going, yeah, I've got that site. It's producing leads. I just can't turn it into dough. What did you try doing before to turn it into money that didn't work?
I've had one client for that site for probably about a year, and most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, he wouldn't even answer the phone. I'd hit him up and say, "Hey, you had all these missed calls," and he's, "Yeah, I got an appointment with it." You know, he'd call him back afterwards, so I couldn't listen to the calls. I think he probably did it on purpose.
I swear they do it that way sometimes.
In the beginning, he paid me quite regularly. He would pay me a few $100 every week, but it just slowly weaned off and he just quit paying me. He was supposed to be paying me 10% of whatever the ticket was or whatever, but there was no way for me to confirm whether or not he was charging these people. So
you had a commission deal. It was just like you take the money because it was organic leads and you're like, whatever. So you just kind of like left it. And I guarantee somebody's sitting there going, yeah, I've got one of those. I'm guessing the justification is like, well, no money's better than some money. Like that's kind of what you're thinking in your head, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't costing me anything except a few bucks for the call rail number, and he would pay me a little bit here and there, just enough to keep me quiet, you know.
So before that, why hadn't you been like, hey, enough's enough, I'm done dealing with this, I'm going to get someone on flat fee? What was holding you back from doing that? Was it like you didn't think you could get a flat fee deal, or like what was it?
Yeah, I've never really had the confidence to even ask for a flat fee deal or know how much to ask for. It's so easy to ask for commission or pay per lead or whatever because it's really easy to get someone to accept that deal. But I love the flat fee model because they're paying for it and they need to make the leads work because they're paying for them, you know, and if they're missing calls, that's their fault, not mine. You know what I mean?
Once you actually think about it, it's the best model for both parties. Obviously it's the best for us, but it's the best for them too, because nobody wants to know, like even a pay per lead model, nobody wants next month to go and double their marketing budget and not be prepared for it, right?
Right.